Hello. Hello.
Good
Yeah.
evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening, Kushi. Okay. What we have discussed in the last class? Electromagnetic induction, right? Magnetic induction. EMI. So here we have discussed about Faraday's law. Faraday's law. Second, we have discussed what we have discussed. First, Faraday's law. So by using Faraday's law, we can say that by changing magnetic flux produces induced EMF. If the coil is closed, then induced current also develops. That is the first law he has given. By using the second law, we can calculate how much induced current or how much induced EMF. If you want to calculate, then we have to use the second law, because second law he have given formula also even. And after what we have discussed, Lenz law. What is the Lenz law? It gives the direction of the induced EMF. Faraday has given that when there is a change in flux linked with the coil, induced EMF develop in that coil. If that coil is a closed loop, induced current. Okay, what is the direction of that induced current? If you want to find, we have to use the Lenz law. After what we have discussed, what is the next topic that we have discussed?
Induced EMF due to rotating coil.
Yes, induced EMF due to rotating coil. Some problems also we did. Here basically we will use which formula mostly we will use? Change in magnetic flux, like E is equal to delta phi by delta T. This is what we will use here mostly, because coil rotates. So when coil is rotating, we have to write it is phi f minus phi I by delta T, like that. So initially how much flux and finally how much flux, that change by time. Then we can solve problems basing on this induced EMF due to rotating coil. Mostly you will use that formula. Next, motional EMF. Motional EMF, motional electromagnetic force. So here we have discussed about two methods. One is general, second one by using Faraday's law. And basing on that, we did some of the problems also. Few problems we did on that, and one more also, general case. General case we proved. So by using the general case, what we will get? Suppose magnetic field, length, and velocity. If these three are mutually perpendicular to each other, then EMF is equal to believe. If any two are parallel, B is parallel to L or V or anything. If two are parallel, any two are parallel, then induced EMF will become 0. If these three are such some angles, B, L, V are at some angle, Then what we have to do? How much what is the formula you will get? E equal to, how much formula will you get? V bar cross B bar dot L bar. This is what the formula you will get when B comma L comma V are at some angles, not right angle, not parallel. Other cases we should use. First we have to apply cross product for this two. Whatever answer you will get, that is also vector only, because cross product will give vector into dot, into dot L bar. If you apply, finally you will get result, that is scalar quantity. If they ask calculate current, I is equal to E by R. Here E is nothing but like a potential. We know electromotive force. Cell, if we take that cell, we will call as electromotive force when we don't connect in the circuit. Once if you connect in the circuit, it will act as a potential difference. That's why we can say like that. I is equal to E by R. Till now we have discussed these are the topics. Now see, basing on these topics, one of the problem. Remember, these are the topics. Just one more class is required to complete this lesson. So each and every topic you should maintain idea. First Faraday law, two laws you should remember. After Lenz law, and basing on the second law, we have did some sums also. I explained some sums. The sums you have to practice. After Lenz law, it gives just direction of the induced EMF. How to find the direction also I given. Direction of induced EMF is always opposes the cause produced by it. That's what. After induced EMF due to rotating coil, we have solved some of the sums, and motional EMF general case, and this one is very important. After, see once, believe, like if this is the note, 3 points I given in that note. Remember this. This is what we have discussed in the last class.
Sir,
Tell me, ma.
sir, can we do few more questions on Lenz's law, sir?
Yeah, Lenz's law. Explain nearly
Later.
Yeah, we will soon. Nearly 6, 7. I explained, right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we will solve. Yeah, we will solve again.
Okay.
Few more sums we solve. Okay. Now also see. Maybe you can get one more question also. Let's see. Problem 1. R is the resistance. V naught is the velocity. It is in the uniform magnetic field. Question. This rail patta, it is frictionless. Here there is no any friction. When it is moving, there is no any friction. Frictionless. Okay. So find motional EMF. First question. Find motional EMF and current. Induced current. That means. Second one. Find the force required to keep. Find the force required to keep rod moving with constant velocity. Third question. Find power input output. Find power input and output. These are the 3 questions. Don't get hurry. Slowly, one by one, we will solve. But listen the concept clearly. So what is going, you can understand. After I will ask you in which direction we have to write EMF. What is the EMF direction? Here EMF direction we will give basing on the right hand palm rule. Magnetic field direction, velocity. So force will act. So positive in that direction, negative will be downward direction. That we know. Let's see. Find EMF and current in the rod. What is the EMF here? First question answer, anybody can say? And length of the rod is L. Moving with velocity V naught. It is the external resistance. So it is the completely closed loop. Anybody can say? What is the induced EMF here? Sanchit, Sharath, Banu Prasad. Kushi?
BLV, sir.
Why BLV? Here EMF is equal to BLV. Why we have to write BLV? When we have to write this BLV? When magnetic field, velocity and length, if these three are mutually perpendicular to each other, then EMF is equal to BLV. Here inside magnetic field, in that direction velocity, in upward direction length. So these three are the mutually perpendicular to each other. So BLV. And calculate current here. Current how much? Tell me current. Anybody tell me the current formula. What is the current here?
So BLV by R.
BLV by
R.
which R?
Capital R.
What about small r? If they don't give this, we used to write this one, right? If they don't give external resistance, we used to write this one, right? It is what? Internal resistance. So that time formula, every time we used to use E by small r, right? When they didn't give external resistance, we used to use this one. Now they given external resistance also, and both resistors are in the series. So we have to use this formula. Sanchit, okay?
Yes, sir.
It is the first question answer. What is the second question answer? It is the first question. Everyone should write, okay? Second question. Tell me the second question answer. Find the force required to keep rod moving with constant velocity. So rod should move with constant velocity. Then how much force is required? How will we calculate? Any idea? Suppose some of the object is moving in the magnetic field with the velocity like this. Actually, it is not. Suppose some charge is moving. We are making to move that. If we want to make them to move this charge with the constant velocity, suppose in this direction F force is acting, in this direction also we have to apply some force. Then if the two forces are balanced, with each other, then this charge, don't say that it is at rest. We can say it is at rest, or it is in moving with the uniform velocity also, we can say that. So now rod is moving in this direction. Feel that is the external force. We have to apply, suppose if it is applying magnetic force, then we have to apply opposite direction some external force. Now what will happen means, if the two forces are balanced with each other, then body moves with uniform velocity. So let's see. It is the rod. So Fm, how much force is acting? Magnetic force. Fm is equal to I B bar L bar cross B bar. Bill, when the rod is moving, current carrying conductor, when it is moving, already we have discussed this. When the current carrying conductor, when you place in the magnetic field, how much force will act? This much. Now feel that it is at rest. So Bill, this much of force will act on this. So it is moving now. So from this, Fm is equal to IBL sine theta equal sine 90 equal to 1. So Fm is equal to BIL. The sine theta is 90. How can we say? Magnetic field is inside. So length is upside. So both angle is 90. So we have given sine 90 equal to 1. So Bill, this much of magnetic force is acting on the rod. Now when it is magnetic force is acting, to make it we have to make it to move with constant velocity. So suppose if magnetic force is acting, when it is moving, magnetic force is acting this much, opposite direction we have to apply force, F external. We have to apply force. If you apply force F external, opposite direction, suppose it is the rod, in this direction, if it is magnetic field is applying force, in this direction we have to apply external force. If both are balanced, then we can make this body to move with the constant velocity. If force is there, then there is a acceleration, not velocity. That is the reason. We have to cancel the forces, then it will get the constant velocity. That is the concept actually. So F external is equal to BIL, because both are equal but opposite in the nature. So F external is equal to Bill. Now F external equal to B. We have calculated current. How much we have calculated current? E by R plus R into L. This is what we have calculated, current. And EMF also we have calculated, since I equal to E by R plus R. Again, we know what is the E here. F external equal to B. E is nothing but BL V naught by R plus R into L, since E equal to BLV. So from here, F external equal to B square L square V naught by R plus R. It is the external force. Clear? Hello? 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 Sanchit? Likita? Likita? Kushi?
Sir.
Kushi, did you understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Or any doubt?
So can you repeat once again? Actually, I couldn't hear properly. The voice is breaking.
Okay. See, we are finding that force. We find the force required to keep rod moving with constant velocity. How much force is required to move this rod with constant velocity? So first on this rod, what is acting? Magnetic force is acting. That magnetic force is equal to Bill. Now we have to make it to move with constant velocity. How much force will act? So if it is magnetic force is acting in this direction, opposite direction we have to apply external force. If these two forces are equal, then this rod will move with the constant velocity. So I have F external is equal to bill. Bill is nothing but Fm. So after I we calculated E by R plus R into L. I we have substituted here. I. Now E we know. E is equal to BL V naught. Again we substituted. So formula you got this one. That is the F external. That much force is acting on the rod so that this rod will move with constant velocity. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anjali? Anjali?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Harsh?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, ma?
No, sir.
Okay. Next, third question. Find power input and output. Okay. Today Rachna not present. Dhanush. Let's see. Find power input and output. Here, third question solution. How much power input we are giving, that much power will get output. Here, conservation of power. Conservation of power. How much power will give input, that much power will get out. So output, conservation of power we have to use here. So like, how much power we are giving input? Power input. How much power we are giving input, that we are going to calculate. So how much power we are giving input, that means how much work we are doing on that, how much external force is acting on that. Because power formula, power equal to work by time. Remember, this work is due to external force. That's what you have to remember, that work done due to external force. Input we are giving, so we are giving, that means work done by the external force we have to consider. Now F external to move rod dx distance. Dx displacement. So how that means how much work we did. Work is equal to force external into displacement. This is what we are doing, external work. Now power equal to work by time, right? So W power equal to W by T. That means F external dx by dt. To display small dx, small dt time will take. So power we are calculating, instantaneous power, how much power we given. Power is equal to W by T. W means force external into dx and by dt. How much force in the how much force we already calculated. F external equal to, we know, so power equal to B square L square V naught by R plus R. It is the force, and dx by dt, displacement by time, nothing but velocity V naught. So P write this, F external to move dx displacement. So that means we have did some work, that is work done equal to force into displacement. Force into displacement by time is nothing but power. So force already we have calculated in the first question how much force we are giving to move it to constant velocity. This much of force. After dx by dt, whatever the dt is there, so it is nothing but v naught again. So finally power equal to power input equal to b square L square V naught square by R plus R. This is what the power we are using. We are giving input. That is the input power. Kushi?
Sir?
Kushi, understand?
Yes, sir.
Because in the previous question only we have derived the force formula. How much force we are applying, we calculated that. Force into displacement is nothing but work. Work by time is nothing but dw by dt, something. Small work to do to display small displacement. That's the input power. Power output we have to calculate. But according to conservation of power, how much we will give input, that much power we will get output. So how much we will get, let's see. Power output. Power output. We know power formula. P is equal to I square R plus I square R. P equal to, do you remember power formula? I square R. How did we get? Power equal to work by time. Power equal to work is nothing but, we know, since potential difference is equal to work by charge. Work by charge. So from work equal to V into Q by T. Again P is equal to, since V is equal to IR, Q by T is nothing but, so IR Q by T. Again charge by time is called current. So total we will get, it is for internal resistance, it is for external resistance. So I square R plus R. Is it clear? Hello? Whatever you given input power, that will come like an output. That output is equal to I square R, I square R. So total power equal to I square R plus R. Is it clear how we got this I square R? In 10th class we have studied power equal to work by time. Here work place we have to place V into Q by T. Q by T is nothing but I. Current. Charge by time is called current. Again V is equal to IR according to Ohm's law. So I square R. In that format we got this. Kushi,
Sir?
any doubt?
No, sir.
Anjali,
Yes, sir.
any doubt, ma?
No, sir.
Banu Prasad, Chirag. Yeah, Banu, I can't hear you. I think network problem.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, ma?
No, sir. All clear.
Okay, let's see. So we calculated I, right? How much we got I? I formula.
BLV by R plus R.
BL V naught by R plus R. Huh? So I square here. So power equal to B square L square V naught square by R plus R. Because R plus R whole square, R plus R. So you'll get finally this one. If you substitute B square L square V naught square by R plus R whole square, R plus R cancel. So you will remain with this. This is the power output. So power input, how much we got? Same. Power output also we are getting same. So power input equal to power output. So conservation of power. Remember this type of questions. If they ask power, even though we can calculate that. Okay. See once, next one. Next topic. Self inductance. Self inductance. Denoted with letter L. That is the self inductance. Denoted with letter L. See one small observation. Small observation. What is the small observation? Suppose it is the coil. Now when current is passing through this coil, what will happen when current is passing through this coil? It is not constant current, okay? It is variable current. Variable current. Variable current. Current is changing. When current is changing, whatever the magnetic flux linked with these coils, even it will change. If magnetic flux is linked with the coil is changing, induced current develop in this coil. What is the direction of the induced current? How can we say? Case 1 is the coil I increasing. I increases, so current is increasing. So when current is increasing, magnetic flux also will changes and it will increase. So change in magnetic flux produces induced EMF. So induced, if it is the closed loop, it produces induced current. What is the direction of the current? Tell me, what is the direction of the induced current? Is it I1 or I2? I can't hear you, Kushi.
I2, sir.
I2. So direction of induced current direction is in this direction because current is increasing. The induced current direction is opposes the original, means cause produced by it. So it is I2 direction. Second case is the coil. I current passing through it is decreasing. Decrease. Then what is the induced EMF direction? Induced current direction?
I1.
I1 direction. So it will be in this direction. I induced. I induced. Like that. So from this two, we can say that the induced current direction, when current is increasing, its direction is decreasing direction. We have to decrease it. So what will opposes the growth? When it is increasing, induced EMF, induced current will opposes the growth. When it is decreasing, when current is dying, it will try to increase that. So when it is current is dying, it will support that. Remember these two cases. So induced EMF, induced current direction is opposite to the current. Let's see. See once, magnetic field linked with the coil. So current direction will be in this direction. Magnetic field inside, magnetic field inside, magnetic field is inside. So wherever magnetic field is inside, so when the magnetic field is going inside is increasing, so what will happen? Flux, current increases, I increase, then magnetic field increase. When magnetic field increases, change in flux increases. When flux is increasing, what will happen? Induced EMF or induced current. Induced current develop. Once induced current develop, induced current direction, what will happen? It will decreases, right? Induced EMF. So when induced EMF develop, coil is circular, it is closed loop, then induced current also will develop. So induced current is developed according to Lenz's law. According to Lenz's law, what will happen now? B should decrease. So current direction is I decrease. So it will be like this. Outward. Current is decreasing. So coil, when current is in the clockwise direction, so magnetic flux is increasing. When magnetic flux is increasing, the magnetic field increases, magnetic flux increases. When magnetic flux is increases, induced current will increase. So induced current develops. The induced current direction according to Lenz's law, direction of current decreased. So it will be like this. Clear? Hello, Tejaswini.
Sir.
Induced EMF or induced current direction is, what is the direction of induced current?
Sir, it decreases.
It decreases. Yeah, if it current is decreasing, then original current is
It
decreasing.
increase. It
increases.
increasing.
It increasing like that. Okay, let's see. So we are discussing about self-inductance. So let's see self-inductance. Suppose it's the coil. I current passing through the coil. How many? N number of turns will be there in that. So I current is passing through the coil. N number of turns. N number of turns are there in that coil. So one coil, if you take, flux is pi. So flux through one coil, magnetic flux linked with the coil. Magnetic flux linked with coil. One. Total flux. Total flux means if you take this, so magnetic flux linked with the magnetic flux linked with the N pi, N number of coils. Each and every coil flux is pi. So it is the total flux. For one coil, flux is this much. total flux is equal to n pi, means each and every coil into each and every flux. So this total flux is directly proportional to what? Total flux is directly proportional to what? Do you have idea? Flux, when flux is coming, this flux is depending on what?
Current.
Current. So current I. From it is take equation like current I. From take it is equation 1. From equation 1, we can write total flux equal to Li. Here L is proportionality constant or self inductance flux, total flux is equal to Li. Take it is equation 2. Equation 2. Sorry, it is equation 2. Take it is equation 3. So from equation 2, we can say, you can write total flux is equal to proportional we have removed. In that place, we have given constant L, that is Li. Now from equation 1 and 2, sorry, 1 and 3, from equation 1 and 3, both right left hand sides are equal, so we have to equate right hand sides. Li equal to n pi, L equal to n pi by I. We can write like that. Here n is the number and pi is the flux of Weber, current is ampere or Henry SI units. SI unit of self inductance. L, n is the number, so no unit. Flux Weber, current ampere or Weber per ampere is also called Henry. We can say like that. L is what? L is actually we have proportionality constant. So you should remember. Everyone, did you write this? Hello? Tejaswini?
Sir.
Any doubt, ma?
No, sir.
So flux, magnetic flux is pi. Total flux, if you want, how many number of turns are there, and each and every turn flux will be there, so n pi. So this flux, total flux is depending on whom, it is directly proportional to I. So this equation 2 we can write flux is equal to Li. This L is nothing but proportionality constant, or also called self inductance. So from equation 1 and 3 we can write like this. So L is the self inductance. So SI unit is flux Weber, current ampere, Weber per ampere, are also called Henry. That's all. Let's see now. Suppose L equal to n pi by I. Here L doesn't depends on pi and I. L does not depend. L does not depend. Why? How can we say, sir? We current electricity we lessen. R is equal to V by I. Here R is the constant, proportionality constant, also called resistance. This resistance does not depending on V and I. So like that, L here does not depending on phi and I. L depends on dimensions of a coil. Dimensions of a coil. How many number of turns are there? So basing on that, it will depend. It does not depending on phi or I. Okay. Suppose the coil we have discussed, I current is passing through this coil. So magnetic flux is changing. So EMF will be there. That EMF is equal to d pi t by dt. And its direction is opposite to the original flux, original EMF or original current. Magnitude form, if you write, E is equal to d phi t by dt. Here E equal to pi t, mean total flux. Total flux Li by dt. Since total flux equal to Li. After L is constant, we know. So di by dt. Now send this di by dt to left hand side. Then E by di by dt equal to L. If in equation A, if current is 1 ampere and time is 1 second, then self inductance is equal to EMF. It is very important. Define self-inductance. Define self-inductance means if current is passing in the coil, 1 ampere current is passing in the coil in 1 second, then self-inductance is equal to EMF. We can say like that. The coefficient of self-inductance, the coefficient of self-inductance is equal to the EMF when current is passing 1 ampere in 1 second. Chirag,
Yes, sir.
any doubt, ma?
No, sir. No, no.
Are you clear about self-inductance?
Yes, sir.
Self-inductance means when current is passing through this, so flux is changing. Flux is changing, so induced EMF develops in the same coil. That's what self-inductance. In which coil current flux is changing, in the same coil, induced EMF develops. So that is called self-inductance. How to derive means first we have to take a coil. Phi is the flux through one coil. For total flux, if you want, total number of coils, N phi. That flux is depending on current. So from equation 1 and 2, we can write. After
Sir,
Know that induced EMF also develop.
sir,
Tell me, ma.
sir, phi total is equal to Li, sir.
Yes, phi total equal to Li. We have to take. Because phi total directly proportional to I we written. So from that phi total equal to Li we have written. This L is the mutual inductance, sorry, self inductance. So we have given that. So phi total equal to Li.
Sir, but in equation 1 you gave phi total is N
Yeah,
I.
phi total flux if you want. Total flux if you want, that is n number of coils into each and every flux. That is total flux. Here, this flux, so originally this flux is depending on what? This flux is depending on current. So total flux equal to Li. If there is no current, then total flux cannot be there. If there is number of coils also, no use. So we have to consider this. Okay. It is our self inductance. Mutual inductance, second one. Mutual inductance. Suppose let's see. It is primary coil. It is called secondary coil. Here what is happening when current is passing? So what will happen? It produces magnetic field. That magnetic flux is passing through this secondary coil. Feel like magnetic lines of force are passing. By changing the current here, magnetic flux will change in the secondary coil. That change in flux in the secondary coil produces EMF in that secondary coil. So who is changing here? Current. Where it is changing? In the primary coil. The change in current in the primary coil due to that induced EMF developed in the secondary coil. That is a mutual inductance. Due to this coil, there is a EMF in the secondary coil. So it is depending on this first coil. That is the mutual inductance. Mutual. So I current is passing here. I current in primary coil. Primary coil produces B. Produces B. What will happen when current is passing through the coil? So magnetic field produces here. And these magnetic field lines and these magnetic field lines passes through secondary coil. this magnetic field lines passes through secondary coil. So now, yeah, magnetic lines of force is passing through secondary coil. Now current change, the change in current in the primary coil, that means there is a change in flux in the secondary coil. So that is called mutual inductance. So change in flux, the total flux, if we take total flux in the secondary coil, is directly proportional to whom? The change in flux, our total flux in the secondary coil is directly proportional to? Hello? Hello? Tejaswini? Tejaswini, the total flux in the secondary coil is depending on whom?
I1, sir.
So current in the primary coil, that is I1. Again, total is equal to M I1. M I1. Here M is the coefficient of proportionality, coefficient of mutual inductance. M equal to coefficient of inductance or proportionality constant. From this, M equal to 2T by I. Flux is Weber, current is ampere, Weber per ampere are also called Henry. It is also SI unit are same SI unit. Mutual inductance. Here M doesn't depend. M does not depending on flux or current. It depends on distance, geometric so geometric it depending on the dimensions of a coil and distance between the coil, dimensions of a coil or distance between the coil, distance between the coil, distance between the coil, or depending on orientation of coil. On the three factors it will depend. It depends on the dimensions of a coil or geometry of a coil, or it depending on the distance between the coils or orientation of a coil. So mutual inductance depending on the three factors. Mutual inductance cannot depending on flux or cannot depending on I. Induced EMF by I1. Sorry. dt. Here d by dt of total mi, mi1, m is constant, mutual inductance m is constant, di by dt, it is e. From this, m equal to e by di1 by dt. Mutual inductance is defined as when the current passing in the primary coil, when the 1 ampere current is passing in the primary coil in 1 second, then mutual inductance equal to induced EMF. Mutual inductance equal to induced EMF. The induced EMF, it is that the direction is opposite. Always negative you can give, or if 1 ampere current passing in 1 second in the primary coil, then mutual inductance is equal to EMF, induced EMF. Like a first self inductance only, there is no any difference. Induced EMF direction is negative, opposite direction. We can say like that. So we can give negative also, no problem. We can write negative. Magnitude if we take positive. Now current direction in this. What is the current direction in this? When current is increasing, will decrease. One ampere current is passing in 1 second in the primary coil, then mutual inductance is equal to induced EMF. Okay, it is about mutual inductance. Find the coefficient of mutual inductance find the coefficient of mutual inductance for a pair of concentric coils as shown in the figure. As shown in the figure, R1 is much greater than R2. So what is the figure? It is 1. I1 current is passing. from here to here is R1. From here to here is R2. So they have given R1 is much greater than R2. So much greater than R2 means, if you understand clearly, it is like a small point, like it is a center of the coil. This one is like a center of the coil. So why they have given center of the coil, you should understand clearly. Now see, current is passing in the coil. How much current? I1 current is passing in primary coil. Right? I1 current is passing in the primary coil. So due to this current at the center of the coil, what will happen? Magnetic field B develops. Magnetic field B develop. So when current is passing through this coil, magnetic field will be there at the center of the coil. How much? What is the magnetic field at the center of the coil? Magnetic field at the center of the coil. Anybody? What is the magnetic field at the center of the coil? We have calculated this one by using Biot-Savart's law, by using Ampere's circuit law. We have calculated. Anybody can say what is the magnetic field at the center of the coil? Hello? Magnetic field at the center of the coil, mu naught by 2 I by A. Actually, magnetic field B at center of coil. Magnetic field at center of the coil is this much. Now tell me, so this magnetic field is developed due to current I1. So B equal to mu naught by 2 I plus I1 R plus R1. Magnetic field is developed at the center of the coil due to I1 current is this much at R1 distance. Now this B, what is the magnetic field, or magnetic field is developed at the center of the coil, first coil. So that magnetic field is at the center of the even second coil also. So how much magnetic field is passing through the secondary coil? This much. This is the magnetic field passing through the center of the coil. Magnetic field passing through the center of the coil. So how much flux is passing through it? Now what is the flux? Whatever the flux, that flux is passing through this coil, right? Now how much flux is passing through the second coil? BA sin theta, or BA cos theta. What will happen? BA cos theta. So BA, this magnetic field is due to what? Magnetic field is due to this one, mu naught by 2 I1 by R1. A, what is the area? Which area we have to write? We have to write area of the second coil, that is pi R2 square, because flux is passing through which coil? Secondary coil. So area we have to write this one. So total flux, from the total flux, total flux. Phi total equal to that much flux. So this is the total flux. Mu naught by 2 I1 by R1. Don't write here I1. Pi R2 square into I1. So how can you see this? We know that, take it as equation A, it is I1. We know that total flux is equal to MI1, it is B. Compare equation A and B. Compare equation A and B. Then total flux, I1. So mutual inductance M equal to mu naught by 2 pi R2 square by R1. This is the mutual inductance. Mutual inductance due to first in the first coil due to second equal to mutual inductance in the second coil due to first coil. No problem. Note. So mutual inductance, both are same. Mutual inductance due to first coil, mutual inductance in the first coil due to second coil, or mutual inductance in the second coil due to first coil. So both are same. So this is the mutual inductance. It is same for in the first coil or in the second coil. Chirag,
Yes, sir.
any doubt, ma?
No, sir.
Banu Prasad?
Yes, sir.
What is mutual inductance? Define mutual inductance means what will you say? 1 ampere current is passing in the primary coil in 1 second. Then mutual inductance is equal to EMF in the second coil.
Sir,
Harsh,
sir, here why cos theta is 0, sir?
theta equal to 0. BA, magnetic field is going inside. Area vector also going inside. Current is passing, right? So magnetic field is here inside. So coil area vector we can take inside or outside for the two-dimensional quantity, right? So area vector also along the same direction.
For
Both are
2
inward.
be inside.
Inside. Both are in the inside direction only. So cos theta, theta equal to 0. So cos 0 equal to 1. Banu Prasad, I can't hear you. So this is the question. When they have given like this, first you have to say that how much magnetic flux is passing through this coil. How much magnetic flux is means we know that how much magnetic field will develop, this much of magnetic field. So this total magnetic field is going through this area. So total flux equal to BA. This B is due to whom? Due to first coil. So that's what we will give here. Area is whom? area of the second. We have given second. So what we will write, very simple. Del total flux is equal to mu naught, everything we will write. And this one we will compare with the equation B. This equation B is very familiar. We know total flux is directly proportional to I1. So we have to remove this. We have to put M. So we have to write M. Then total flux is equal to Mi. So we have to compare these two equations. So mutual inductance will be this much. Just 2-3 steps over. And it is CBS important question it is. Mutual inductance in the first coil due to second coil is equal to mutual inductance in the second coil due to first coil. That you have to remember. One question homework for you, or we will do here. Find coefficient of find coefficient of mutual inductance due to pair of two long solenoids of equal lengths. We have take like this. It is first one. One more is we have to draw inside. Both lengths are for first coil length L1, so L, radius R1, radius of the coil is R1, and N1 number of turns. For the second coil, L is the length, R2 is the radius, N2 is the number of coils. So now our same concept. Before we have taken circles. Here we have taken two solenoids. There we have substituted magnetic field at the center of the coil. Here also same. Suppose I1 current is passing in the first solenoid. So magnetic flux inside the solenoid, we have calculated that. So that magnetic flux inside the solenoid, so magnetic field will develop inside the solenoid, that is a uniform magnetic field will develop. At the center, magnetic field will be there. That magnetic field is passing through the second one. So now you know how to solve that. We have to assume I1 current is passing through the first coil due to I1 current. So magnetic field at the center of the solenoid, how much? Magnetic field at the center of the solenoid, mu naught N1 I1. It is the magnetic field due to solenoid at the center. In the previous lesson, if you see clearly, you can remember this formula. So this magnetic field is due to whom? Due to first coil at the center. Now flux, if you want to write flux, total flux in the second coil. Total flux in the second coil is BA. Cos theta equal to we have to take as a 0. So cos 0 equal to 1 we have to take. Then B, this B is due to this one, mu naught Ni I1. A. Now A, what is the area? Pi R2 square. This area we have to consider, pi R2 square. So total flux equal to mu naught Ni I1 pi R2 square. Total flux. Flux through the coil. We can say total flux through the coil, not total flux. Flux through the coil. Total flux, how many total flux? Phi 2 total equal to number of coils into flux through each coil. Total flux is equal to number of
Sir,
coils.
what's the last line? Can't see, sir.
Mu naught Ni I1 mu naught Ni or mu naught I naught, sir, mu naught N1 I1 pi R2 square. Mu naught N1 I1 pi R2 square. It is flux through each coil. So total flux equal to number of coils into total flux through total coil. So number of coils equal to N2L, because N2 equal to number of coils per unit length. So from this N equal to N2L we have written, and flux through each coil is this much. Flux through each coil is mu naught N1 I1 pi R2 square. So from this mu naught N1 N2 pi R2 square L into I1. It is the total flux. Take it is equation A. We know that total flux equal to Mi1, it is B. So mutual inductance is equal to this much. If you compare A and B, so mutual inductance, again you will get this one. These things once again we will discuss in the next class also. Don't worry, because today only 14 members they present. So remaining members they didn't come. So again I will teach these topics again. Don't worry, that's why I taught like that. Again they have doubts, they will ask again. Harsh,
Yes, sir.
any doubt, Harsh?
No, sir, no doubt.
Again I will teach these questions in the next class also, okay?
Okay, sir.
Don't worry, because some members they didn't come. Rachana? Banu Prasad? Banu Prasad?
Yes, yes, sir.
Any doubt, Banu Prasad?
No, sir.
Okay. Kushi,
Yes, sir.
how did you write test?
So today's test got cancelled, sir.
Is it okay?
He said it's tomorrow.
Okay, fine. Okay, now prepare well for tomorrow test and write neatly. Okay, and tomorrow, maximum next class is the last class to complete electromagnetic induction. So don't absent. Previous topics, whatever I said, once again you have to revise because it is easy concept, small lesson it is. Each and everything, whatever I said, that is enough to read. No need to do more than that. After we have to solve the sums. That's all. And somebody asked that we have to do more sums on Lenz law. So we will see in the next class. Okay. So within 2 classes with the sums and everything, we will complete even electromagnetic induction also. After I will start magnetism. Easy that is. Okay. See you in the next class, ma. Don't absent next class because that is only last and final class. I hope you can complete this lesson.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma. We'll see you in the next class.